Even though Destiny's Child was a chart-topping group, it was clear there was a standout star in the group. We now know her as a style icon, advocate for empowerment and expression, actress, filmmaker, and more. Let's go behind the wind machine and explore the untold truth of Beyoncé. Beyoncé and her husband JayZ are the wealthiest and most influential power couple in music since, well, ever. She's on the Forbes list of America's wealthiest self-made women, with assets totaling $400 million. And according to the same magazine, he's got a net worth of around $900 million as of 2018. That's an incredible amount of wealth, and they accumulated it, for the most part, individually, and definitely through a lot of hard work and savvy investing. To protect their money, their stuff, and themselves, Beyoncé and JayZ created a prenup agreement prior to getting married in 2008, according to Radar Online. After reportedly suffering through marital strife in 2015 and living separate lives inside their giant Beverly Hills home, the couple figured they'd ought to revise that prenup. So they created a postnup, which outlines how their combined $1.4 billion fortune would be split should the two ever divorce. It also allows for full joint custody of their children. Some celebrities keep gossip magazines and websites well stocked with tales of their tumultuous love lives, connecting with and then breaking up with a new and different partner with remarkable consistency. But Beyoncé is not that kind of star. Her romantic world is fascinating because it never seems to change much, aside from the occasional rumbling of problems in her marriage to JayZ. In fact, according to Beyoncé, she's only ever had 2 romantic relationships in her entire life. She told The Telegraph, "When I was 13, I had my first boyfriend, and he was my boyfriend till I was 17. That was my only experience with a guy, and since then I've only had one other boyfriend in my life, Jay." Okay, but back to the guy who didn't become a rap mogul. His name was Lyndall Locke, and he spoke to The Sun about that star-crossed romance. Beyoncé's Destiny's Child cohort, Kelly Rowland, introduced the pair at church in 1993, and they were each other's first kiss. The couple remained together as Destiny's Child's fame increased. Locke said, "The bigger star she became, the more I didn't think I was good enough. One night when she was out of town, I went to a bar with friends and ended up sleeping with another woman." Locke says he cheated on Beyoncé about 5 times and revealed the indiscretions after they broke up. In the age of camera-enabled smartphones that can capture and spread information worldwide in seconds, it's almost impossible for a celebrity to do anything without getting noticed. Perhaps that's why it was so baffling and impressive in December 2013 when Beyoncé's self-titled 5th album suddenly appeared on iTunes. Beyoncé had accomplished the massive task of recording a whole album, 14 audio tracks and 17 music videos to boot, and the equally massive task of keeping it all under wraps. In a Facebook video timed to the release of the album, Beyoncé revealed that she feels like people experience music differently these days.
I remember seeing Thriller on TV with my family. It was an event.
She went on to admit, "I miss that immersive experience. Now people only listen to a few seconds of a song on their iPods. They don't really invest in a whole album." So she set out to make an album that was consumable all at once, with no fracturing singles. According to music industry insiders who spoke anonymously to Billboard, Beyoncé finalized the track list in late October and finished recording it around Thanksgiving. She didn't decide on the final release date until a week before it hit the internet. When discussing the project with Columbia Records employees, the codename Lily was used. Only a handful of iTunes executives were fully clued in on every detail of Beyoncé before its release. Music history is full of alter egos, running the gamut from David Bowie's successful Ziggy Stardust to Garth Brooks' risky Chris Gaines phase. One of the more recent and most popular pop star side personalities is Beyoncé's Sasha Fierce, the steely, ultra-confident persona that often takes over when the singer performs. While she didn't yet have a name for this phenomenon, Beyoncé thinks Sasha Fierce was born the first time she sang in public, during a school talent show when she was in the 1st grade. She told Rolling Stone that her dance teacher urged her to do it, adding, "I was terrified and I didn't want to do it. I remember walking out and I was scared, but when the music started, I don't know what happened. I just changed." She admitted that the Beyoncé fans see isn't day-to-day Beyoncé and explained, "It's a transformation into that. It's a job. In real life, I'm not like that." The singer officially christened this other side of herself Sasha Fierce in 2008, just in time for the release of the double album I Am, Sasha Fierce. Beyoncé may seem superhuman, but she's a human being like the rest of us, of course. And like many people, she once fell down a path of despair into a big hole of sadness. In 2000, Destiny's Child sat at the peak of its popularity, having just released the rapidly best-selling The Writing's on the Wall. It was also around that time when two longtime group members quit Destiny's Child and then sued the group's shady manager, Matthew Knowles, yes, Beyoncé's father, claiming he mismanaged the band. In 2006, Beyoncé told Parade that the fallout and stress over that led her to quit eating and hang out in her bedroom. It was, in her words, that lonely period in which she also felt attacked by media reports that painted her in a bad light. She credits encouraging words from her mother for helping her out of her dark place, then realised that she had two options at that point in time: quit music or leave the dramatic Destiny's Child departure in the past and move forward. She clearly chose the latter. It seems like the more famous a person, the more likely they are to be the subject of conspiracy theories. Plenty of people think Elvis Presley faked his death to escape fame, or that an international group of operatives worked together to assassinate President John F. Kennedy. Not surprisingly, there have been plenty of conspiracy theories and rumors spread about Beyoncé. Have you heard the one about how R&B sensation Solange isn't Beyoncé's sister, but her daughter? According to Stella's reporting on this unfounded theory, Beyoncé, who was also allegedly born in the 70s and not 1981, as she claims, gave birth when she was 12 or 13 years old, and that in order to avoid scandal, her parents raised Solange as Beyoncé's sister, not offspring. Another theory holds that Beyoncé wasn't really pregnant with her first child, Blue Ivy Carter. According to ABC News, she allegedly suffered from health and fertility issues, and she wore a fake bump in public that supposedly deflated when she sat down during a televised interview, while a surrogate carried the baby to term. Ready for the best part, which also brings this to full circle crazy? The alleged donor of the egg to make that baby was Solange. While Beyoncé is certainly best known for her staggeringly successful and influential music contributions, she's developed a secondary career as a movie star. Her first role came in the 2001 made-for-TV musical Carmen, a hip opera, which she followed up with Austin Powers in Goldmember.
I actually did have to kiss Austin Powers.
She was also in a remake of The Pink Panther and starred opposite Oscar winner Jennifer Hudson in Dreamgirls. She voiced Nala in the 2019 reimagining of The Lion King, which went on to be one of the biggest blockbusters of the decade. Two other recent sensations could have been Beyoncé vehicles, but things just didn't work out that way. Bill Condon, director of Dreamgirls, helmed Disney's live-action Beauty and the Beast remake, and he attempted to work with Beyoncé once more. He told Yahoo Entertainment, "It wasn't a big enough part. She would have been a good feather duster." A remake of A Star is Born made it to screens in 2018 and starred real-life pop star Lady Gaga as a pop star, but it nearly starred another real-life pop star, Beyoncé. Clint Eastwood was set to direct, but according to one of the film's producers in The Hollywood Reporter, it didn't happen because Beyoncé got pregnant and then Clint went off and did another movie. In another one of Beyoncé's acting performances, she portrayed legendary singer Etta James in Cadillac Records, a 2008 movie about the influential record label Chess Records. It earned critical acclaim, and for Beyoncé, nominations from the Golden Globes, BET Awards, Grammys, and Satellite Awards. But she took a lot more home with her than a paycheck and accolades. According to The Independent, James struggled with a heroin dependency in the 1960s and 1970s. To research this side of James's life, Beyoncé visited Phoenix House, a Brooklyn addiction rehabilitation facility that also provides job training for residents. According to MTV News, Beyoncé said, "I felt like they needed something that was geared towards women." Her solution was a salon. After visiting her mother's salon often as a child, Beyoncé said, "I saw that a salon was a place for women to socialize, share stories, cry, laugh, and get advice."
Most importantly, I saw the joy it brought my mother. Knowing that she was a part of their transformation.
And so, in 2010, Beyoncé and her mother, Tina Knowles, opened the Beyoncé Cosmetology Center at Phoenix House, which provides a 7-month cosmetology course. Beyoncé pledged a $100,000 recurring annual donation. If anyone is a contender to someday take home an EGOT, which is an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony, it's Beyoncé. The Grammy Awards have honored her 24 times, and she's got 8 Emmy Award nominations for her variety shows and Super Bowl halftime show. It's reasonable to think she'll win one of those someday, and maybe a Tony for some future Broadway musical performance. Also, Beyoncé has acted in, sang in, and written songs for lots of movies, and yet an Academy Award nomination has proved surprisingly elusive. She put in a powerhouse performance in the 2006 film adaptation of the musical Dreamgirls, and also co-wrote Listen, one of her character's big numbers. That song earned a nomination for Outstanding Original Song, but Beyoncé wouldn't have received an Oscar had it won. According to MTV, the Academy Awards enacted a rule in 2005 which capped the number of individuals that could be nominated for one project at 3. Then it decided that Beyoncé didn't contribute as much to Listen as its other songwriters. More than a decade later, Beyoncé co-wrote Spirit for the remake of The Lion King. It made it to the Academy's original song shortlist, but ultimately wasn't among the final nominees. People absolutely freak out whenever Beyoncé does just about anything, but in a good, celebratory way. Whether it's revealing a pregnancy at the MTV Video Music Awards or releasing a secret album, she's an icon and hero to a lot of people. So it's rare that she does anything that's met with scorn and derision. What went down on the 4th of July in 2003 is one of the few dings on an otherwise spotless career. Beyoncé had just launched her solo career that summer, and NBC booked her to perform on its Manhattan-based Independence Day special. She did perform, dancing and singing next to Grant's tomb, the burial site of U.S. Civil War General and U.S. President Ulysses S. Grant. According to the Associated Press, the Grant Monument Association president filed complaint letters with NBC, the Department of the Interior, and the National Park Service, calling out Beyoncé's work as, quote, patently inappropriate and featuring lascivious choreography. Beyoncé never commented on the matter, although she's yet to dance on any other presidential memorials. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.